Hey guys, real quick video for next week. Couple things. Number one, I just asked that you guys would pray. There's definitely been a weight of on this text um, that just comes from Jesus saying that those who back off of this will call least in heaven, and those who do these things and command others to do these things will be called the greatest in heaven. And how he came to fulfill the law and handling all that. um, when he then goes into explaining the law and then the heart behind the law and the commandments that were given, and these people that were listening to Jesus spoke had Deuteronomy over their doorposts. They were Jewish, Orthodox Jewish people who had been raised in a culture that was saturated, marinated in the law. They went to Jerusalem 3 times a year as the law commanded to offer sacrifices. This was a way of life to them. And taking that and explaining all that and contextualizing all that to high school kids on a Wednesday night, I'm feeling a little overwhelmed, to put it the least. Um, Definitely, I mean, just very excited about being able to lay out some of these things to the kids. Just want to do it in a way that's glorifying and honoring to the Lord. I've heard and seen, and even have been reading a lot of commentaries and uh, thoughts on the Sermon on the Mount and have seen in my own life where that it becomes legalism and people hear Jesus' challenge that their righteousness needs to be more than or better than the Pharisees' righteousness, and they're like, "Okay, Jesus, I'll take you up on that challenge," and then they do these things, and which is funny. It's not funny; it's actually sad. But to me, I mean, we're talking gouging eyes, cutting hands off. I mean, it's we're talking about flames of hell. I mean, this is just a very, very, very um, difficult thing to contextualize to high school kids in Brownsburg in the year 2014 because they just don't have the foundation, and that's what I've even been challenged with is my own foundation and understanding of the law and the Old Testament law and just how I didn't grow. I didn't grow up offering sacrifices. This this is hitting me anew in, in new ways that I never really expected that it would because just going into this and understanding what the law said and then what Jesus then adds to the law. Um, Honestly, I just it's been making me go to Second Corinthians 5:21. It says that and he Father made him Jesus who knew no sin to become sin in order that I may obtain the righteousness of God, that I may become the righteousness of God. And just that whole righteousness greater than the Pharisees. So my righteousness is in Christ, and I want the kids to find their righteousness in Christ, so they can have a righteousness that exceeds the Pharisees and come to faith in Christ. So, would you pray for that? Pray for me as I'm putting this thing together. I'm really wrestling with getting. I really want and feeling drawn to Romans 7 and 8. Whenever the law comes up, Romans 7 and 8, and then the end of 9. Um, or I just go there because it's where Paul says when I what the law was meant to do and the purpose of the law and what I believe is what Christ is doing here in the Sermon on the Mount. I think that's where Paul got Romans from is how Jesus handles the law here in the Sermon on the Mount. So um, anyway, so hey, pray for me, pray for the kids, pray for the direction. It's some pretty heavy stuff as far as my eternal standing with God goes, and the kids. So just pray for all of us, and um, I'll send out an email with some questions and stuff. But I really think that the direction that I'm going to go is the law, and then how we find freedom from the law of sin and death that's in our members, and then through the Spirit of Christ. So have a good one, guys. Thank you for the blessing that you guys are in my life.